Good morning, students. Last year we learned the topic pressure, that is force acting on a unit area of the surface is called pressure. Pressure is equal to force upon area. Pressure is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to the area on which it is at. Now, today we solve the question from the exercise of this lesson on the page number 142 and 143. The exercise questions are given. The first question is, give two examples each of situation in which you push or pull to change the state of motion of an object. So, here in the question asking two examples of each situation in which we either push or pull to change the state of object. So, the first example is a batsman hit the ball is the situation of the pushing the ball will change the state of the object that is ball. We change the state of motion. State of motion means the change in speed or change in the direction or change in both speed and direction. When a batsman hit the ball, it changes the direction of ball and speed of the ball. Therefore, it changes the state of motion of the ball. And when it hit the ball, it pushed the ball. The situation is push, which is to change the state of motion. Another example is a football player hit the ball with his foot during penalty kick. Is also a situation in which the state of motion of an object, that is football, is in rest condition, which is in zero speed. When it hit the ball by the player, it's increased its speed and therefore, it changes its state of motion. These are the two examples. Another example, where we drawing a bucket of water from the wall with the help of rope, we pull the bucket with our hand, and this is also the example of the situation in which the change of state of motion of an object, that is bucket, we change the direction and speed of bucket. Next question, give two examples of the situation in which applied force causes a change in the shape of an object. Two examples is asking in which by applying a force, the shape of an object is changed. So we perform an activity that is given on the page number 133 with diagram is the situation in which the shape of an object is changed. First situation, a lump, force applied on a lump of dog, on a plate by pressing it down with our hand, the shape of a lump of dough is changed. Another example, spring fixed on the seat of a bicycle. By sitting on the seat, the rider change the shape of the spring. Third situation, a rubber band suspended from a hook or nail fixed on a wall. By hanging a weight or by pulling its free end, the shape of a rubber band is changed. It is elongated. So, any two examples are asking in this question. Third question is fill in the blank. To draw a water from a well, we have to blank at the row. To draw a water from the well, we draw a water from the well, we have to pull at the row. The type of pressure exerted on the row is pull. This is like this. We pull the rock and water coming out from the well is the answer. B blank a charged body, blank an uncharged body towards it. A charged body and another body is uncharged. So we know that a charged body attracts towards uncharged body attracts towards the charged body. So the answer is a charged body attracts an uncharged body towards it. Blank number C, to move a loaded trolley, we have to खाली जगह blank on it. Trolley is loaded and we wish to move for applying force to move a loaded trolley. We have to push or pull. If loaded trolley is moved from this direction, we apply a force like this type, then it is push. And if we apply a force from this side, then it is pull. So the answer is pull or push. To move a loaded trolley, we have to pull or push it. Blank number D, the north pole of a magnet, blank the north pole of another magnet. Two bar magnets are there. We know that each magnet has a two pole. That is north pole and south pole. North pole of a one magnet is blank the north pole of another magnet. So here we know that same pole of the two different magnets are repel each other. The repel is the answer in the blank. It means that north pole of magnet repel the north pole of another magnet. Now question number 4 is an archer stretch her bow. Archer stretch her bow while taking aim at the target. So we know that archer is like this type and this is an arrow. So an archer stretch her bow. Archer stretch her bow. So the bow is like this type by stretching the bow for taking aim at the target. In sum, here is a target. See, then release the arrow which begins to move towards the target. Release the arrow, then arrow is moved towards the target. Based on this information, fill up the gaps in the following statement using the following terms. Some terms are given on the top, that is muscular, contact, non-contact, gravity, friction, shape and attraction. The statement is given as A, B, C, D. Statement A, to straight the bow, the archer apply a force that causes a change in its blade. So we know that when to straight the bow, the archer apply a force that causes the change in its shape. Shape of the bow is changed by applying a force. Therefore, in first situation, that is statement A, the answer is shape, which is given on the top. B statement, the force applied by the archer to straight the bow is an example of archer apply force. Is which type of force? This is a contact force. This is further a muscular force. Therefore, the answer is the muscular force and contact force. Now, the answer is muscular force. This is given in the top on the turn. So, the force applied by the archer to straight the bow is an example of muscular force. Statement C, the type of force responsible for change in the state of motion of the arrow is an example of contact force. The type of force responsible for the change in the state of motion of the arrow, the state of motion is changed by the contact force. Is correct answer. Statement D, while the arrow moves towards the target, the force acting on it are due to two forces are acting on the arrow while releasing by the archer. First force is downward direction towards the earth, that is gravity, and another force is the force of friction by atmosphere, which is also an example of contact force. So, in the gap, we write due to the gravity and that of due to the friction of air. Friction is given on the top. So, this is the correct answer of question number 4. Now we move towards the question number 5. Question number 5 is, in the following situation, identify the agent exerting the force and the object on which it acts. State the effect of the force in each case. So, some situations are given in the question and we have to identify three things, that is agent exerting force, object on which force acts, and effect of force. This is the spring. First statement, squeezing a piece of lemon between the finger to extract its juice. For extracting a lemon juice, we squeeze a piece of lemon. So agent exerting force is a finger. With the help of finger, we squeeze the piece of lemon. Therefore, agent is finger. Now, object on which the force is acted. The force is acted on the piece of lemon. Piece of lemon. Now, effect of force. The juice is coming out and shape of lemon piece is changed. Is the effect of force. Statement B, taking out paste from the toothpaste tube. Taking out toothpaste from the toothpaste tube. The agent exerting force is also a finger of our hand. Object on which the force is acted on toothpaste tube. Effect of force is change the shape of a toothpaste tube and toothpaste is coming out from the tube. This is the answer. Now, C statement, taking out paste from the toothpaste tube is C. B, C is a rod suspended from a spring while its other end is on hook fixed on a wall. So, suppose this is a spring and a rod is suspended on one end and other end of the spring is fixed on a nail on the wall. So, the rod suspended from the spring while its other end is on hook fixed on the wall. So, agent exerting a force is a rod. Which exerting a force on a spring. Object on which the force is spring, and effect of force spring elongates. Spring elongates. Size of the spring is increased. Now, statement D, an athlete making a high jump to clear the bar at a certain height. We also take a high jump during sports time. So, an athlete making a high jump to clear the bar at the certain height. Agent exerting force is muscular force of the body. Object on which force is acted is the body of an athlete. Athletes. And effect of force is on the body of athlete. Effect is also a body of athlete. So this is the question number 5. Jumping the athlete is the answer here. Now move towards the question number 6. That is a blacksmith hammer a hot piece of iron while making a tool. A hammer, with the help of hammer, a blacksmith hammer on a piece of iron for making a tool. How does the force due to hammering the effect of the piece of iron? By hammering on a piece of iron by blacksmith, it changes the shape of an iron is the answer of question number 6. Question number 7. An inflated balloon was pressed against a wall after it has been rubbed with a piece of synthetic cloth. A balloon is inflated and then it rubbed with a synthetic cloth, and then this inflated balloon, which is rubbed on a synthetic cloth, are pressed against a wall. It was found that the balloon stick to the wall. What force might be responsible for the attraction between balloon and the wall? This is the wall and balloon is stick like this. The type of force which are responsible for stick the balloon with the wall is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is a type of non-contact force. When an object is rubbed against another object, the object is charged. This charged object is attracted towards the uncharged object. The wall is uncharged and balloon is charged by rubbing it with a piece of synthetic cloth. So the force responsible for this is electrostatic force is the answer of question number 7. Now question number 8. Name the force acting on a plastic bucket containing water held above the ground level in your hand. We hold a bucket which has a water and we hold it by our hand. Name the forces acting on the plastic bucket. Which type of and how many forces are there acting on the bucket of water held by our hand? So we see that there is a two force. One force is in the downward direction, that is gravitational force. Into the downward direction. Second force is muscular force of our body, which is what is upward direction. So name the forces acting on the plastic bucket containing water held above ground level in your hand. Discuss why the force acting on the bucket do not bring a change in its state of motion. We see that if I hold a bucket containing water with my hand, there is no change in its state of motion. Therefore, no change in its speed or direction. This is because the gravitational force which is into the ground downward direction and muscular force which is upward direction act on upward direction two forces are equal and in opposite direction. When two forces are act on an object, the magnitude of these forces are equal and in opposite direction, the resultant force is zero and there is no change in its state of motion. Is the answer of this question. That is the question number 8. Now we move towards the question number 9. A rocket has been fired upward to launch a satellite. For launching of satellite, a rocket is fired in upward direction. Name the two forces acting on the rocket immediately after leaving the launching pad. When the rocket is launching from the launching pad, two forces when it leaves the launching pad is one force is downward direction acting on the rocket is gravitational force and another force is force of friction of the atmosphere which is in contact with a rocket. There is a two force which is atmospheric pressure, atmospheric force of atmospheric air, frictional force, that is frictional force of air which is act on the rocket and another force is a gravitational force into downward direction are the two forces. Now move towards the question number 10. That is, when we press the bulb of a dropper with its nozzle, keep in water. The dropper is like this. This is the nozzle. This is the bulb and this is the nozzle. When we press the bulb, it squeezes. When we press the bulb of the dropper with a nozzle kept in water, air in the dropper is seen to escape in the form of bubble. If the nozzle is dipped in the water, then if we press the bulb, then the bubbles of air is coming out from the nozzle. Then what is said? Once we release the pressure on the bulb, water gets filled in the dropper. After pressing, when we release the pressure, the water is coming into the dropper. Water gets filled in the dropper. The rise of water in the dropper is due to four options are given. Pressure of water, not pressure of water, gravity of the earth, not gravity of the earth, shape of the rubber bulb, not shape of the rubber bulb, but atmospheric pressure. The correct answer is atmospheric pressure. The rise of water in the dropper is due to the atmospheric pressure is the correct answer. So these are the solution of exercise question, and this chapter is finished, and now onward we start new chapter when we meet again. Thank you.